Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's July 31st, and today we're taking a look at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see our upper level system off the Oregon, California coast here. It's going to spawn some thunderstorms mainly across the Oregon Cascades again today. We have the McKinney fire burning out here. We'll take a look at here in a moment. Another very warm day across the region today, but by tomorrow we should chop about 10 degrees off these high temperatures and a little bit more on Tuesday before we bring a weak system through the area here on Thursday. Models have been backing off on the strength of that system a little bit coming up here. Taking a look at Hurricane Frank down here across the eastern Pacific. It just looks nice in the mid-level water vapor loop. No threat to anybody as of now. Here's the McKinney fire. Here's the Oregon-California border here. Here's I-5 in the pink. There's Medford, Oregon here. And as you look here, you can see the fire temperature here just kind of showing the strength of the fire, kicking off a bunch of smoke and creating pyrocumulus clouds that produced lightning yesterday. Pretty dynamic fire. So it is that time of year across Pacific Northwest here. We'll take a look at where this fire smoke is going to go here in a moment. Taking a look across the region here, excessive heat warnings are in effect. Heat advisories, red flag warnings, mainly for Oregon here. We'll look at that for that reason why that is there for Oregon coming up here in a minute. Taking a look Sunday through Tuesday, hot, dry, and breezy. Spokane National Weather Service calling for potential rapid fire spread. Use caution. All it takes is a spark. Seattle, last 2 days, 95 degrees, 1 degree off that record high of 2009 yesterday. We're going to be above 90 most likely today, which will set an all-time record for most consecutive 90-degree days for SeaTac with 6 in a row. We've never done that before. Look at Portland, 102 yesterday, 100 the previous day, upper 90s again today, and then finally cooling off a bit, probably 10 degrees off that high as we go on in through Monday. So pretty impressive heat wave for Portland, Oregon here as well. And look at Tri-Cities. This is just downright ridiculous. Thursday, 110. Friday, 112. Both record highs. 109 yesterday, just off the record high. Again, well into the hundreds again today. Just a very impressive heat wave for portions of eastern Washington. Now, as we look here, the GFS, this is 850 millibars, 5,000 feet. You can see the heat dome still over the area here for that very warm day today. We back off on those highs tomorrow a bit, and then you can see Tuesday through Wednesday, we really start to bring some cooler air in aloft. We get down more towards more seasonable temperatures across the region. We try to bring a frontal system here through Thursday. Models have been backing off on the strength of that just a bit, so we'll continue to monitor that, and you'll see that forecast here coming up in a moment. Here's the European model here. This is just kind of showing you this ridge that brought our heat wave here, built up through the southwest. See the system kind of meandering off the coastline there, going to bring that thunderstorm potential for the next few days across some of the Cascades. And you can see that trough move down through Thursday and Friday here, and this will cool us down a bit more through next week. And then maybe another weak trough moves through BC before we try to build this ridge back up through the extended a little bit. At least that's what the GFS was showing. I'll show you that here in a moment. And here we go. You can see this is way off into fantasy land, but we're over 300 hours away. You can kind of see this ridge building back up through the extended forecast here. So that's something we're going to watch after these troughs move through later this week to see how much we're going to warm up through the extended forecast. So we look at things now here on the GFS. You can see Hurricane Frank there. There's our upper level low off the coast, and this ridge that's brought us our heat wave. And as you can see this meander off the coastline here, a little trough brings us the onshore flow for Monday, and that stronger trough comes through Thursday and Friday. Maybe some precipitation across the region, but it might be mostly confined to British Columbia here as we go through Thursday and Friday. And then you can see this ridge kind of hanging around here, just kind of keeping us on the border of being very warm across the region. And watch the GFS kind of ejects this little system finally past us, and maybe that'll bring some thunderstorms. It's a fantasy forecast, but it's just me dreaming about maybe getting a thunderstorm or two here across some of the portions of the Pacific Northwest west of the Cascades. But then you can see the ridge building up as we go through the extended here. But we're a little getting ahead of ourselves here. We're kind of out in fantasy land there. Here's the Tri-Cities, 110 today, probably cooling down a little Monday, and much more seasonable temperatures coming through the extended forecast here. So that'll be much welcome relief for many people over there, I know. Seattle Tacoma International Airport, looks like that 90-degree day is probably a lock today as we go through 6 days in a row, 90-plus all-time record duration heat wave here for SeaTac. Cool it down about 10 degrees tomorrow, a little bit more on Tuesday, and you can see Wednesday and Thursday cooling down even more, possibly just having some nice highs in the 70s as we go through later this week. Here's Portland International, European, up towards 100. Chop about 10 degrees off that for Monday, a little bit more Tuesday, and then maybe that trough on Thursday, keeping Portland even down towards the 70s. So looking at this is the European model here. As we roll through the days here, you can kind of see these thunderstorms ebb and flow through Oregon this next few days. And then you can see this weak frontal system kind of slide down through western Washington, through British Columbia here on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It does show some light precipitation, but this has been waning in the models. This has been not as dynamic a system as what it was looking like a day and a half ago. So we'll continue to monitor that, but it will definitely cool us off from these highs into the 90s. Now look at this. It's kind of unusual here to see scattered dry thunderstorms. And you can see that across the Oregon Cascades, this little red hatched area here. And you can see the isolated dry extend all the way up towards Pendleton and much of Northern California. And of course, much of the Oregon Cascades here as well. Here's day 2, calling for elevated fire risk for portions of eastern Washington, mainly the east slopes of the Cascades. You can see that fire danger exists out through Montana, as well as we have isolated dry thunderstorms possible again for tomorrow for eastern Oregon out through Idaho and Montana. This is near surface smoke forecast. You can see the McKinney fire here kicking up a bunch of smoke. See this fire in British Columbia here near the Okanagan River Gap kind of brought some smoke down there, but it will be cleared out with the afternoon westerlies here, and you can see the Moose Fire continuing to produce smoke here as well. So it is that time of year. You can see these other random fires kind of burning around the area too. Hopefully they don't get too bad as we go through August. Now looking at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, they backed off a little bit here on just the cooling effect of these troughs rolling through the area here, as we actually keep some above normal temperatures going all the way up towards the southern Puget Sound here. You can see the monsoon season signal here across the southwest, and Alaska remains chilly. Look at the 6 to 10 day strong monsoon signal down here, and perhaps above average precipitation for some of the portions of eastern Washington, Oregon. That would be much welcomed. And you can see some of these signals for Alaska and down towards Texas too, as there's probably a heat wave coming up here through the Midwest as well. As you can see here on the 18 to 14 day temperature outlook, you can see that signal for monsoon season, and this is that potential ridge building back up over us. We don't see any imminent heat wave in our extended forecast, but above average temperatures are not out of the question for much of the Pacific Northwest. 8 to 14 day precipitation, monsoon season. I sound like a broken record there. But yeah, one more warm day across the region here before we cool things down a little bit tomorrow and a little bit further on in through midweek here. And again, we're just watching to see how dynamic the system will be as it moves through the area Wednesday night into Thursday here, and see if it will bring any thunderstorm chances with it. And then we'll watch for that heat in the extended possibly. But yeah, I know a lot of people will be fine with seeing this heat wave end coming up here. 6 straight days, 90 plus for SeaTac. It's never been done before. We're likely to do it today. So yeah, check back tomorrow. We'll do this again tomorrow. I hope you guys are having a good day and can beat the heat, and I'll talk to you guys then.